This week I've been driving the 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. We'll get all into it in just a second, but first, so the Yukon has a few different trims. You can have the SLE, the SLT, the AT4, which is their off-road version, which is really cool and something that I really want to check out as well. And then you have this, the premium of the bunch. This is the Denali. All of those can be had in two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. They can also be configured in the regular Yukon or Yukon XL. And the XL is going to give you a bigger body, much like the Tahoe versus the Suburban or the Expedition versus the Expedition Max. But let's take a quick look around this thing. Then we'll check out the cargo space. We'll check out the engine under the hood here. Then we'll move inside, check out the interior and the tech, we'll take it for a drive, and then we'll start wrapping the video up. All right, so taking a look at that exterior, first off, we have the white frost tri-coat paint. I'm always a fan of white paint, and this thing is super bright white. It's actually hard to get some of the details of the body lines because the white is so bright, even though we have an overcast day. But more importantly here, you do have the multi-dimensional Denali grille with GMC proudly displayed up front. Lots of chrome, but very nice. You have those LED headlamps with the GMC signature C-shaped design that features daytime running lamps and LED fog lamps. Our wheels here are the 22-inch bright machined aluminum wheels with premium paint. We also have power folding adjustable side mirrors, and they do power fold on lock, which I love. It's a really great feature, especially for big vehicles where you're worried about people bumping up to your side mirrors coming out, but it also helps to know that your car is actually locked before you walk away from it. Again, just a premium touch that I appreciate. Another premium touch is the power retractable assist side step, and this has the premium lighting on it. It looks really cool at night too when it's all lit up. Moving around the rear of the vehicle, you can see that big bold styling. LED tail lamps. We have the dual exhaust system with dual twin polished stainless steel tips, and you can also see that Yukon and Denali badging there on the lower part of the lift gate. Now that lift gate is a hands-free programmable power lift gate with a GMC logo projection, which means it projects the GMC logo on the floor behind the tailgate. Again, just another premium touch. And let's talk quickly about the size of this thing, and more specifically the size of the Yukon versus the XL. So the length of this Yukon is 210 inches. The XL is 225.2 inches. The Yukon is a good size, but if you need that extra room for carrying family and stuff, the XL is going to excel there. But all in all, I think this is a good size for most families. Let's pop that back hatch and check out the total cargo volume right now. All right, and that back lift gate is a hands-free lift. You can also hit a button here on the back or on the key, but you can just swipe your foot back here and it lifts up. And again, behind that third row is 25.5 cubic feet of cargo space. Obviously, you can fold that third row down, you can fold the second row down and have a much larger flat floor. And here in the Denali, you do have buttons that will power fold those seats, as well as a 115-volt house plug back here to plug stuff in. But with that, let's go check out under the hood. All right, and there are 3 different engine options with the Yukon, but to get some of them, you have to get into the Denali or the premium options. The base engine for the Yukon is a 5.8 liter V8 engine. That pushes 355 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque and is matched up to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You can also get a 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel engine. That pushes 277 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque, and is also matched up to the 10-speed auto. What we have here that is exclusive to the Denali is the 6.2-liter V8. This one has best-in-class horsepower at 420 horsepower, and you get 460 foot-pounds of torque. This is also matched up to that 10-speed automatic transmission. And as far as towing goes, with this setup, you're looking at 8,000 pounds of towing. Now we'll get in more to what I think about this engine and how it powers this beast when we take it for a drive. But first, let's jump in those rear seats. Let's start taking a look at the interior, and then we'll get into the drive. Ugh. All right, so the rear seat legroom, like I said, is 34.9 inches. It's okay back here for an adult, but obviously made for kids, and the kids have no problems being back here. The seats are really nice. You did get cup holders. You do get USB Type-C charging ports on both sides. As you can see, we have the 7-passenger configuration. You can get it in an 8-passenger, so you can have a bench seat here in the middle, but we have the 2 captain's chairs and 3 wide in the back. But let me jump up to the middle row right here and show you some of the tech up here. All right, and again, these are the captain's chairs. Really nice materials, very comfortable, plenty of legroom, plenty of headroom, even for a 6'1" adult. We do have a lot of technology back here exclusive to the Denali, including the 12.6-inch multimedia touchscreen display back here. We also have HDMI hookups, USB Type-C hookups, our own AC controls back here. But these screens are massive and really nice, and will keep the kids entertained for a while. Let me jump up into the front seat, show you some of the tech up there, and then we'll start taking this thing for a drive. All right, guys, the interior here is part of the Denali exclusive line of interiors. This is the brownstone and jet black interior. We've got perforated leather, lots of really nice amenities in here. Let's go through all those right now. Both the seats and the armrest here in the Denali have this unique fractal stitching. Really cool. Again, those Denali seats with the Denali name stitched into them, the perforated leather. These are heated and cooled seats. We have authentic wood trimming, which I think looks really nice here. Flop that up, you got your cup holders. Push this back, you expose a wireless charger for your phone. You've got USB Type-C charging and USB Type-A charging and an accessory plug. All right, and the layout of the rest of the stuff is really nice, and you have some nice physical buttons to press, which is always good. Here are your heated and cooled seat buttons. You can control the rear climate on and off from right here. The rest of your climate for the front right here. Up here are some of your audio physical buttons, and then this is your 10.2-inch premium infotainment touchscreen. So you can touch everything here. And this plays out to the Denali exclusive 14-speaker Bose audio system, which sounds really good. This system also has GMC's navigation. You have wireless Apple CarPlay, which is always nice. You also have available Amazon Alexa and Android Auto. Moving on to the gear shifter here, you can see it's the same that we saw in the Tahoe. You have push buttons here for your park. You pull a little lever for reverse and drive. And you can see here we have our full 360 camera views all around the car. We also have our rear view mirror camera, so you can flip it and see the actual mirror, or you can flip it and see the LCD of the rear view camera. When I first started driving vehicles with this included, I didn't like it too much, but with this big SUV, it's actually kind of nice and I've gotten used to it. So let's talk a little bit about the steering wheel here. You do have a couple of function buttons here on the front of the steering wheel. You also have some functions on the back of the steering wheel. It is a Denali steering wheel, nice leather wrapped, and it is a heated steering wheel. Moving back behind the steering wheel is an 8-inch driver information display, which gives you some really good information about the vehicle and what's going on. And obviously you can adjust what you're seeing depending on your driving style and what you're doing. Now we also have a class-leading 15-inch heads-up display, and this will show quite a bit of information. Very clear, very crisp, nice colors. A feature that I really like in vehicles these days as well, and this is one of the better setups that you can get. Moving beside the steering wheel, you can see some of the heads-up display controls, from the brightness to the information to the position. Then you have stuff like your automatic start-stop feature that you can turn off. your hill descent control, your lane sensing controls, your electronic park brake. Right down here, you have some of your four-wheel drive controls. They'll let you change it from a normal driving mode to a sport, to an off-road, to a tow haul, and some of your lighting controls. And you might see here, you can actually raise and lower this vehicle, which we'll talk a little bit more about when we take it for a drive. So one thing that I can say about this Yukon Denali, it is a super smooth ride, and that's thanks to the four-corner air ride adaptive suspension. And that's offered not just on this Denali, but also the AT4 trim. And for 2021, we've got an all-new active response four-wheel drive system. Now, I didn't take this off-road. We didn't do much four-wheel driving in it, but I know that it's capable off-road, even being a big vehicle. But if you're really going off-road, you want to look at that AT4. Now, it is a big vehicle. We've got a big engine under the hood. The EPA rating on this is 14 miles per gallon city, 19 miles per gallon highway. Not great, but it is a big vehicle. It's to be expected. And during my full week here, I've been averaging 13.4 miles to the gallon. All right, with that, let's pull back over and we'll talk about the price and competition for the Yukon. All right, so let's talk really quickly about the price and some of the competition, and then we'll wrap the video up. So at base, you can get a Yukon for $51,995. The base Denali is $58,400. This one that we're sitting in, the Denali with all the bells and whistles, is $84,395, which is basically on par for this size of vehicle. Your competition really is the other big SUVs from GM, like the Tahoe, the Escalade, but also the Expedition from Ford or the Lincoln Navigator. Now, obviously the Denali is the top trim. We've driven the Ford Expedition Platinum. We've also driven the Ford Expedition King Ranch. We've got a lot of reviews on those, so definitely go check out those if you're considering one of those over this. Me personally, I like both vehicles. It's hard for me to choose one over the other, and as a matter of fact, I won't. If you're a fanboy of Ford and you want to get the Expedition, it's an amazing vehicle. If you're a fanboy of Chevy and GM and you want to get the Yukon or the Tahoe, both really great vehicles. One of the things that this has that the Ford doesn't have is that heads-up display that I like, but in both the vehicles, the technology is really nice. The comfort level is really great. The drive is really amazing. This one, you can get the V8 engine options. The Ford, you're only looking at the EcoBoost, but that's a good engine as well. But again, for me, both of them are kind of out of my price range, but I love all of them, and every time I get a chance to drive one, I'm down. All right, let's jump back out and wrap this video up. All right, guys, and obviously the Yukon is one of my favorite big SUVs. I like big SUVs. I have a big family, so I have a need for one. Definitely a great option for big families if you can afford it. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you're not already. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the GMC Yukon Denali. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.